Okay, recording. I think I'm hooked up to my headset, but that's okay. Before starting engine checklist. Aero is complete. Passenger brief. I'll give the safety briefing to them. Seat belts fastened the entire time. Harnesses and the seat belt. Let me know if you have any questions on how it works. Make sure your seat position is adjusted and in the locked position. Air vents are up here for cool air. We've got cabin air and cabin heat down here. I'll pull on a little heat right now. There's a fire extinguisher on board. If there is any sorts of flames or fires, I'd ask that you grab the fire extinguisher behind us in the bin, spray at the base of the flames. I'll continue to fly the airplane. These are the exit doors. You open it through this handle here. This is the exit window. You open it by pushing it in, pulling it up, and we can get out that way. Also, I would appreciate if you scanned for any traffic. If you see any airplanes nearby that maybe I don't see, make sure to just let me know. And then also I appreciate a sterile cockpit, so if I'm coming in to land, we try to minimize as much distractions as possible. And then lastly, just speak up. If you have any questions, let me know. Hobs and tack timer noted. The airplane is checked in. Circuit breakers are in. Got a little bit of wind already. Seat back and track is locked. Fuel valve is on. Avionics and electrical is off. And I'm going to check our current wind. Get the ATIS from Grand Rapids here. So right now it's calling 030 at 9 in Grand Rapids. And in Muskegon, 350 at 9. So that favors definitely a runway of 32 that we'll take off at and depart to the north. Put my cell phone away for now. Keep this here. And put this on airport elevation. Let's see what it's calling for the rest of our 10 station miles. Clouds are at 3100, broken AGL, and 3029er just right about where we are at 600. Okay. Before starting the engine, carb heat is off, mixture is rich. Pull up my seat one more. There we go. Mixture rich. Throttle, open a quarter. Primer, I'm going to prime it twice. There's one. Pull it back out. Let's do, there we go. Nice full one. Taxiway diagram is pulled up. Primer in and locked. Beacon is on. I will clear the area. We are still recording. Here we go. Hand on the throttle here. Clear pop. Hey. Mags are on both. Right, good. Oil pressure looks great. All right. Taxi mixture as required. Rich. Seatbelts, harnesses are secure. Flaps are going to come up. Heat vent and defrost, I got that set. Avionics to standby, 1200. Received the ATIS. Altimeter is set to 603. Lights as required. I'm going to put on the taxi lights. I'm going to test the brakes. Brake test is good. Attitude indicator, blue over brown. Adjust my magnetic compass to my magnetic compass. I'll check the turn coordinator as I taxi out. And heading indicator as well. Looking at all of my surroundings around here as I go out. Nice and clear. Pulling this yoke all the way back. Making sure I'm clear of the building. I rotate out here and get ready for a takeoff 3-2. head up north and going to do, first as we head north, I'll think about simulated emergency descent, and then as we go down, then we'll do some ground reference maneuvers and maybe do a landing or two. Turn this into the wind a little. Alright, I'm going to check the flight controls. Points to when that's up, down, up, down. Flight controls are free and correct. Trim is set for takeoff. Mixture, best power, I'll throttle up to 1700. Turn on my radio here. Check left. Good drop. Back to both. Right. Back to both. Carpeat. Got a good drop on the carpeat as well. Check the engine instruments. Suction looks good. Ammeter looks good. Oil pressure, temperature, all look good. I'm gonna go to idle and pull the carpeat as well. It's running nice and smooth. Push this back in. Go here. Start squawk altitude. Back up to 1,000. Release brakes as I record the time. It's 11:34. I'll do a normal takeoff, which will be rotate at 50. I'll give you a quick captain's brief. If I have any engine trouble with still engine with runway remaining, I will pull back throttle to idle and push forward, land abruptly, safely, and apply full brake. If it's below 1,000 AGL, I'm not going to turn back towards the airport. I'm going to pitch for best glide, which is 65, and look out about 30 degrees in each way, and find a nice, suitable place to land. If it's above 1,000 AGL, when we have engine trouble, we will come back to the airport and land safely at the airport. And I'm going to take a normal takeoff. Everything looks good around here, so I'll make a call. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, back taxi runway 32, Riverview. And I'm going to have a little bit of a crosswind. That wind from, that looks nice and clear. Final looks clear, still looking around. Never know, there is a little bit of clouds there today, so I've got my crosswind coming at me from the back and to the left, so I'm going to go forward and back. Pull back here. Do a normal takeoff. Definitely keeping eyes out for animals this time of year too around here. A lot of deer on the runway last night. Alright, I'll just wait right here as I get set up for my normal checklist. Mixture is rich. Power, I'm going to go full throttle, and I will rotate around 50 and climb out at 72. Keep an eye out for any sort of deer. Got my lights, camera. Flaps are up, 0 degrees. Ready for a normal takeoff. I'll play into this wind just a little bit. Two. Little bit of crosswind. Airspeed is alive. Climbing out. Right at 72. Still looking around. Looks good. Couple of wind gusts, not too bad. In my climb, climbing out at 75 to 80, which is good. Full throttle. Mixture is rich. Check my instruments. Things look good. Turn off my landing light. And I do not need to open a flight plan. It's not applicable.
I am at 700 AGL right now. Gonna get out of our crosswind here. I said the clouds were at 3,100, so I'm gonna climb up to about 3,000 and go over this direction a little bit. Scanning for traffic, I got towers in sight. Everything's looking really good on my climb checklist. Again, I got that wind coming from essentially the north, so it's pushing me a little bit this way. Alright. My ground speed's only 69, 70 knots. My airspeed's about 85, so and I got a direct headwind right here. A little bit coming from this direction, but not too bad. Fly over the in-laws' house. See, the lakeshore today looks really, really nice. Got to be 500 below the clouds, so I'm just gonna level off right at 3,000. I'm gonna push it forward. You're right at about 3. Bring it back to about 2,500 RPM. Right there. Check my cruise checklist. Cruise performance. 2,500. Adjust my trim. And I am actually going to switch over to Sparta frequency, 122.8. It leveled off right at 3,000. No reason to go any higher. Go. Sparta's probably about like 7-8 miles off in that direction. Alright, I'm gonna head straight north at 3,000 feet. Yesterday I practiced steep turns, so I feel pretty good with those. But if he were to pull the power right now, I'm gonna obviously pitch for 65 and find the best place to land and find a way to actually go around. Try to land into the wind, which is this direction here. So if I'm heading north, I don't really want to do it quite yet because the engine's just warming up. I don't really want to pull all the power out and do that right now. So maybe I will do just a steep turn. So you clear the area, do a clearing turn, go left, beautiful day out. directly north. Alright, 2,000, let's just call it 3,000. I've got 90, which is good maneuvering speed. I've got my direction right here. Airplane is configured basically for hands off. And I'll start with a steep turn to the left, 45 degrees. So 1, 2, 3. At 45, keeping that nose right above. Right at 45. There's south. Right at 4,000, keeping it going.
Select traffic down at 595, South 4 miles south.
Still coming around.
Over the airport.
North.
Down the lane.
And 1, 2, 3. Settled right back out. Now let's do right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right at 45. Looking around. Visual. Climbing just a tad. Pulling it out just a little. 45. At 3,000. Coming around. There's my west. See where my north is. Now when I pull out, I'm going to have to really push down. And north, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to gain some airspeed while I do that. Now out in this area, there's some really good spots to do some ground reference maneuvers. So I'm actually going to probably get out here a little bit in this area. Ground reference maneuvers, 600 to 1,000 AGL, so I always do 800. Around here, the elevation's about 800, so I'm going to think about 1,600 AGL is a good spot. And I think the first one I'm going to do is turns around a point, because I really need to practice that quite a bit as we get past Coopersville here and continue in this north direction. Just kind of get down to 1,600. Look at my airspeed's about 120, 115. And it says 87 ground speed, so pretty good headwind we're heading into. Make sure everything's hooked up, yep. 18 minutes in, so. I'm going to enter turns around a point in the downwind, so my 180 will be my clearing turn. I see some really good blue silos over there. There's a lot of really good areas around here. So. Try to keep it right at 1,600 for the maneuver. Alright, level off, put some speed back in, or about 2,400 or so. Keep it at 2016. Stop, hands free, mixture is rich. Airspeed is good. 600. Do a clearing turn. That wind is really going to want to push me. around for traffic, of course. That's always good. Alright. Entering in a downwind. It's going to be, there's 2 red barns right here. So I'm crabbing into it. Let's get to 1600. Pick it up a little bit. So I'm in the downwind, so I got the wind pushing me this way. So my first turn is going to start right here around these barns. I'm going to keep it pretty tight. And start turning now. That's really going to push me quite a bit. So I keep my eye on that. Coming on through. Coming on through, and I'm going to shallow it up, let it push me out a little bit. Shallow, shallow, shallow. Lost a little bit of altitude. 100. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. This is why I'm practicing. That one I made it a little bit too close. I got a little bit too close. Of course, I still want to be looking around here. So. Really got to pay attention. That north wind pushing me. Turn it out shallower. Really shallow. Really shallow. There we go. Now I got to really turn into the wind. When you're turning into the downwind. Checking my quick altitude. Looking at my airspeed. Looking good. Out still 1600. Turn looks nice and coordinated. And I'm going to smooth it out here. Going into the wind. I'm into the wind, so I really need to...
Right here, approach 67 Kilo Charlie. On long final to 0.
Turning into the downwind, and then all the traffic.
That is 14 November, 10 southwest, 2500, 10 All done.
Altitude looks good. Really pushing me. Now as I'm heading into the headwind, I definitely want to shallow up this turn. Let it just keep on pushing me out.
Fire traffic 33, left crosswind runway 7. Departure to the north, wireless traffic.
Go a lot further on that headwind. And this will be my exit. Just staying nice and coordinated the whole time. Exit the maneuver. Staying at 1600. Turns around a point. I'm going to go straight to S-turns. Actually, let's do a rectangular course first. Been at 1600. Got this row of trees. I just did the 180, so we'll call that my clearing turn. And I've got my rectangular course right here. Alright, so I've got the wind pushing me in my downwind right here. I'm going to turn left as I get to the road and stay at 1600. This is going to have to be a sharper turn.
Alpha traffic, Skyhawk 6311 south, left downwind, runway 36 Alpha.
Staying at 1600. Nice coordinated turn. Grab into that wind a little bit. As it's
working up that street down. Straight in.
Another sharp turn. This one will be sharper because I'm into the wind again. Gonna want to raise up. Back north. Few bumps at 1600. In my ground track, still looking around. Nice clear day. And this one is going to be a shallow turn because the wind wants to push me this way. Right as I get over the side of this road here. Not as much. As I'm heading west, I'm crabbing into that wind just a little bit so my ground track stays straight. Still looking good, 1600. Just about to make my turn here into the downwind. This will be a sharper turn. Get it real tight to the road. Exit at the end of this. Do my
Alpha traffic, Skyhawk 11 south, turning final. We have traffic.
turns over a road. Do it to the right. I'm at 1700. I got a good road. I'm going to turn like this into the downwind, so it's going to be a little bit shallow. To a steeper. A little bit steeper. That's gonna roll me out, losing a little bit of altitude. Coming around, back north, right over the road. Straight to the left, but I'm going real slow. Letting the wind kind of pushing me. Shallower, and I'm gonna eventually get steeper and steeper and steeper. Staying coordinated, keeping that altitude. Coordinated altitude, looking at the reference. Right over the road. And straight to the right. Keep that altitude up. Right on over the road. Level it off. 1700. Alright, let's dial in. Climb up a little. 132.95.
Julius 5 Airport. VFR altimeter weather advisory. 1030 at 5, west 15. Visibility 10. Temperature -1 Celsius. Dew point -11 Celsius. Altimeter 3030, humidity 45%,
30.
density altitude missing.
122.8. Go back to 122.8. So there's 030 at 5. They have runway 07. And they have 25. Oh, let me do this. Remove this. Still looking around. Come on. There we go. Looking around. All right. So we are definitely. The wind has shifted a little bit. 030 at 5.
So there's inbound for landing runway 31 west side.
So we're going to be landing at runway 7, which is kind of straight this way, but I really want to enter the pattern correctly. So I've got a couple of options. So right now I'm going to just level off at 2,700. Pattern altitude is 1775, so I need to lose about 1,000 feet, and I've got 11 miles. So I could probably start, you know, descending at 300 feet per minute right around now and look at my descent checklist. I want to get it back to 25, 28,000. I got 10 miles though, that's a long way. So the wind's really changed. So I have a couple options. I think I'm going to head straight and just kind of loop around and enter the downwind. Stay at 3,000 feet as I cruise over. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is 10 miles to the west. Going to enter a left downwind for runway 7, Sparta.
Sparta traffic, Cessna 79 for Foxtrot, taking off runway 7, starting to the west. Traffic, IOS 211 Delta, downwind left, runway 6 traffic.
It's actually really good that it's runway 7 because I've been doing so much practice with runway 25 at Sparta. Now I'll be able to get a little bit of practice this way too. I think one of the other things I'm going to do too is probably do just a normal, or I'll do a forward slip to landing on this one, a forward slip to land, and then do another, maybe even a short field or soft field takeoff, and then maybe do one more within the pattern and head back to Riverview.
Traffic, IOS 211 Delta, turning station 26 traffic.
Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is 7 miles to the west. Enter a left downwind for runway 7, Sparta.
2 Tango, 5 miles to the south, 2 miles to landing runway 31. Sparta traffic, I'm going to put runway 7 with extra departure to north, Sparta.
Alright, I'm going to start my descent checklist. Mixture is rich. Power as required. Let's check instruments here. What's it showing? Check magnetic. Yeah, right on. Right on here. Everything looks good. We got our ATIS was 3030, which is all set there. Everything else is looking good. I'll make a call at 5 miles. And I'll start my descent too. Got the airport in sight. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is 5 miles to the west. Enter a left downwind for runway 7, Sparta.
All the traffic is moving to November, Southwest, Secret, Alma. Cadillac traffic, TPM flip, Bravo Tango, outbound follow, 167, full stop, bye.
I have the airport in sight. Pattern altitude is 775. Well, elevation 775, so pattern altitude is 1775.
Jack Bar goes traffic. 3 to 8 miles to the north, downwind.
So when I enter the left downwind for 7, I'm going to come in this way. I'm going to stay a little bit high. I'm going to do forward slip to land. So I'm actually going to start my, I would be about, I think, 300 feet or so above my normal turn on base. So I'm normally around 500 AGL on my final. I want to be around 700 or 800. I'm going to forward slip to lose some of that. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is about 2.5 miles to the northwest. Going to enter a left downwind for runway 7, Sparta. Still looking around. Got my descent checklist is all set. Once I get in the downwind, I'll do my pre-landing. So I'm just about pattern altitude. There's no other traffic around here, which is
traffic south, 211 Delta, downwind, runway 36, pressure. Traffic, arrow switch November, 836, Delta Joe, 3 down, over.
I came in just about right. So around here, 775, I want to be about 800 on final because I want to come in high. So I want to be about 1575 still when I make my turn and I'm at final. Now forward slip to land.
The downwind at Alma, if we would extend this a little bit, we're going to pass this down the coast everywhere. Okay, no problem.
Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, left downwind for runway 7, Sparta. Traffic looks clear. In the downwind, I am abeam my touchdown point. I'm going to pull the carb heat. I'm in the yellow arc, and I'm going to give 10 degrees of flaps. That's all the flaps I'm going to use. So I want to see what this is like when I come in a little bit high. In the downwind, and I want to be at about 1600. Alright, I'm going to turn base. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, left base for runway 7, Sparta. Again, I want to be a little high. We're only at about 1300. I'm going to say I am high, and I'm going to forward slip this in. Slip only 10 degrees of flaps, just wanting to stay high. So I'm turning Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, final for runway 7, Sparta. Now I'm going to turn, come around, and I'm going to say I am very high, right? So I'm going to pull the power out. And I'm really high, so I've got the wind coming at me from this direction over here. So what I'm going to do is actually dip my wing down, and I'm going to go straight right rudder all the way as I forward slip into this landing. I got good airspeed still, 80. Now I can recover from that forward slip, go to my 30 degrees. As now I'm back on the glide slope, I see a white and a red, so that looks good. Way clear. I will do a normal landing. Little bit of that gust coming over here, I'm a little bit low. Little bit of crosswind, so I'm going to pull the power. Pulling it off. Go. Turning into the crosswind. I continue on down and I'll taxi back. Taxi diagram's already pulled up. I will taxi back and do a soft field takeoff. I actually just realized I forgot to do something on my landing checklist. I forgot to turn on the landing light. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is clear of the runway. Gonna back taxi down the taxiway for another takeoff in the pattern. Sparta. Now I got a little bit of a crosswind coming this way behind me. Go down and away. For a soft field takeoff, I need 10 degrees of flaps. I'll have set. And I'm going to really protect the nose wheel.
Traffic, Comanche 00 Yankee is 3 miles to the north. We'll be entering a left downwind runway 7. And we'll be staying in the traffic pattern. Sparta.
Okay, so he's 3 miles to the north still. Got a little bit of time, so I probably have enough time to take off here. And they're going to stay in the pattern as well, so practicing the short field takeoff. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, departing runway 7, staying in the pattern, Sparta. Final looks clear. Protecting that nose wheel, just coming around here, minimum braking. From I'm braking as I come on out. Just keep that roll through. Nice and clear.
Traffic, Nancy Double Yankee, center in the left downwind, runway 7, start.
I'm still pulling back, protecting that nose. Airspeed's alive. Staying in the ground effect. Hit VX. Climbing out VY. Clear of all obstacles. Retract. Get back to 0 degrees.
Traffic, Double Yankee entering left base, start.
And I'll turn my crosswind. Boy, that wind really pushes me off here. Sparta, Cessna 18 Golf left crosswind for runway 7, Sparta.
Traffic, Double Yankee turning final, runway 7, Sparta.
I see him coming in on final. Still climbing out. Push it over and Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf left downwind for runway 7, Sparta. Pre-landing checklist, seatbelts, harness secure, fuel on, mixture rich, landing light on. I saw him just land. That looks good. I'm a little bit high. It's okay. Blow out some power. Go down. There we go. I will practice a short field landing. Rotating all the way down. I've got 85. I like this speed a lot. Nice and clear. When I am abeam my touchdown point, I'm going to pull my carpet, drop in 10 degrees of flaps. There we go. Start slowing down. I usually turn on base at about 700 AGL. So again, that's going to be about 1500. And when I'm about 45 degrees, really got a lot of wind pushing me, so. This road is a very good base here as well.
Traffic, Double Yankee is off runway 7, Sparta traffic.
Alright, Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, left base for runway 7, Sparta. Drop in 20 degrees of flaps. Final looks good and clear. Sparta, Cessna 18 Golf, final for runway 7, Sparta. That coming around here. There's the runway. Got pushed just a little. That's okay from the wind. There's my 500. Drop in 30 degrees of flaps. Like my speed right at 70. Again, this is going to be a short field, so I'm going to drop in 40 degrees. Once I get a little closer, and I know I got the runway made, I need 1.3 VSO, which is about 63, 64 miles per hour. Out. Drop it in 40. hand short. I'm gonna try to go right for the numbers. A little bit of gusty. Maximum braking. There we go, out of aerodynamic brake the whole time. All right, I think we'll go back around, do one more takeoff, and head straight over to Riverview and call it a day. Clean up the plane, carb heat goes off, bring the flaps up. Up, carb heat off. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is clear of the runway, Sparta. Now practice a short field takeoff. Off at 11:34, so we should be back just right on time. About an hour lesson. I'm gonna wait here.
Sparta traffic, Double Yankee taking runway 7 right in the pattern, Sparta traffic.
Gonna be going up here and taking off, so I'll stay right here for now till he turns. I'll get ready for my normal, or actually let's do a short field maximum performance takeoff. So in this plane it's 0 degrees of flaps. Carb heat is gonna be off. I'll apply the brakes, use as much runway as I can, and hold the brakes while I go full throttle, and then release, rotate out at 50. Climb VX. Once I'm clear of all obstacles. I'll wait here. On his crosswind call. Could be just a minute. Everything looks good.
Skype Airport, VFR Avenue, Bravo, 1030, West 15.
Okay. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, departing runway 7, leaving the pattern to the south. Sparta. Use as much runway as I
For the
can.
traffic, Nancy Double Yankee entering left downwind runway 7, Sparta traffic.
Do this. Hold my full brakes, my lights, camera. Holding the brakes, a little bit adjusted for that crosswind. 1001, 1002, right rudder.
to the north, inbound on the RNAV 5, you know, we'll fly the airport, do the procedure clear, and come back in. Copy.
1400. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf, left crosswind. Gonna exit the pattern to the south, Sparta.
Sparta traffic, NCAA Yankee, final runway 7, Sparta. Traffic, sky off, 211 Delta, downwind, crashes.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually continue climbing, and I will exit over this way. I'm going to climb, so 500 above pattern altitude, climb over midfield. This plane climbs really well, so makes a lot of sense to use that. Helps me get on my route faster, and I'm at a safe altitude of 600 above pattern altitude, so climb right to 2500. Sparta traffic, Cessna 18 Golf is flying over midfield at 2400, departing to the south, Sparta. Alright, check my cruise checklist here.
Traffic, sky off, 211 Delta, Paris Island,
2500. Trim. Turn off my landing taxi light. Since the wind's changed, Riverview is going to be favoring 1-4 now. So I'm going to probably come in and have to do the same thing. Kind of a little bit of a loop. Come out here right on the edge of the Class Charlie airspace, and then loop in for 1-4. And let's switch back over to Riverview. Got that tailwind now. And let's go to 2600, because then I'll just lose it. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, 10 miles to the north, entering a left downwind for runway 14 Riverview. good. 7 miles out. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, 7 miles to the north, planning to enter a left downwind for runway 14, Riverview. So now I'm already thinking ahead that I'm going to be entering, 14, and that's because the winds are going to be from, I really don't have a great place to land. There's going to still be quite a bit of a crosswind to deal with, but like at Muskegon, now it's favoring 3-2. So let's see, what's it saying for winds? All right, so I guess I'm going to switch it back to 3-2. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, 5 miles to the north. Can enter a right teardrop for left downwind, runway 32, Riverview. I've got the airport in sight. I'm going to overfly it, 500 above pattern altitude, so 2100, and I'll make a right teardrop to land at 3-2. Descent checklist, mixture is rich, power as required, carpet as required, instrument check, everything looks good. Nice set. Yeah, I've got Fennessy Lake in sight. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, 3 miles to the north, entering a right teardrop for left downwind at runway 32, Riverview. And when I overfly the field, I'm going to be able to see the, let's see what the windsock is doing too. If I can see it from this height. Clear traffic around here, looks good. Any other indicators of the I'll make a midfield call when I'm over. Let's see what it's showing. Yeah, I think it's showing 3-2. Sure is. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf is over midfield, gonna enter a right teardrop for left downwind, runway 32, Riverview. Yep. Alright, so I can start taking out some power. To lose 500 feet. Scanning for traffic. Cessna 18 Golf, left downwind for runway 32, Riverview. Seat belts, harness secure, landing light on, Rich. To a normal landing. And I'm just about to be my touchdown point. Pull my carb heat. Pull back some power and put in 10 degrees of flaps. Starting my descent. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, left base for runway 32, Riverview. Final looks clear. I like my airspeed, right around 75. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, final for runway 32, full stop, Riverview. Right into that wind.
Auto executive traffic, shoot at 90961 uniform, turning southbound.
I've got 320. The wind is kind of coming this way, so grabbing into the wind a little bit. 70, 75. I've got my 30 degrees. Looking right at the numbers. A little gusty, so I'm a little bit faster than normal, but brake. Don't need to brake super hard, but just enough so I can still turn around. Riverview Cessna 18 Golf, departing the runway, Riverview. Back taxi, runway 32 actually, Riverview. And that's it. The wind is really unpredictable right now. Cessna 18 Golf is clear of the runway, Riverview. Flaps are up, car beats off, strobe landing lights off, trim set for takeoff, transponder stand by. Securing avionics and electrical off. Off. Mixture idle cutoff. Mags off.